So that's the contorted jujube. When I got it though, there was a note that said it wasn't rooted very well, so I've left it in that container. I probably will for about another month before I put it in this pot here. And I'm putting it in the pot because jujube roots will spread for like 300 feet or more, seeking water, and I just don't want to deal with that. I haven't put out all my seedlings yet, but I put out some. These guys are looking good. I mean, it was a fierce storm last night, you guys. Really, really, really creepy, actually. So, I don't have a ton of seedlings, but the storm kind of got to them. But there's a few basil seedlings coming up in this pot. The husband and I have been weeding and mulching the bed a little bit at a time. And then also, so these are my little baby cakes, I think, something like that. Raspberry shortcake, raspberry. There's some blackberry. That all came from this, this bush is the mama of all these. And something cool is right about here where this steak is. I think it's called Seed Love. I need to find out the actual full name on Instagram. But they had edible dahlia tubers. They actually did their own taste test, and so I took 3 of the varieties that they recommended. One of which is, I think, called Bodacious. I have to go read the other ones, but they also had Yellow Gem, which they didn't really care for, but has been recommended on Cultivarable as a good edible variety. So I got their 3 recommended varieties, and then Yellow Gem, and then one really deep red one that I love. So I've never grown dahlias. I'm really excited to see them come up. So you can kind of see the rain really did a number on everything, but I'm really kind of curious to see how many of these apple blossoms actually result in apples this year, because this will be year 3 or 4 for the super dwarf. This is only like year 2, so really I'm still working on the shape of the tree. So I'm kind of hoping this will elongate to kind of give me a better, more balanced look to the tree. So we'll see how that goes. But my beautiful carnations just got trampled all to heck. But my little orange anniversary rose got buds on it. Nana's irises are blooming. So I've seen this one before, but these colors over here I've never seen bloom before. So I'm really curious what colors irises those are going to turn out to be. That is a Turkish rocket. That is a volunteer horehound, and I've left it there. I don't particularly love horehound, but it's very good for insects and pollinators. So you can kind of see, like, we weeded here, but I don't have the mulch to mulch that area yet, but I will. So my onions are absolutely going into flower. And it's kind of funny because onion flowers are not really a favorite of bees. So it's kind of hard to get them pollinated. I tend to go use a cheap little paintbrush and try and do that. This little guy that was looking so puny has got leaves on it. I'm really happy about that. This is one of my transplanted blueberries. He doesn't look great, but he's not dead. So I'm going to take that as a win so far. This one is also a transplant, and it looks really, really bad. But there's some green down here at the base. And I'm going to leave it here and hope for the best. That is a Joan J. raspberry that had some leaves and then lost them. And I'm really just kind of waiting to see if that one comes back out. So we'll see. I think it's called Black Lace or Black Beauty, something like that. Elderberry is looking good. The fig is looking really good. I am super pleased with the structure coming out of here. I actually pruned that last year to take off a stem, and so it's going to have a really good shape, hopefully. The grocery store rose, it's like a kind of salmon and peach, and it's beautiful. My flag iris has got leaves up. It's hard to see with the weeds, but that's where it is. Getting some of that nutrients for the next spring. I think this is a Nanking cherry. And one of these is a wild cherry, so I'm pretty sure that's the Nanking and this is the wild. And kales are all still in flower, which the bees love. blackberry. This was just a stick, honestly. I broke the stick off, stuck it in the ground around fall, and there we go. I think lion's tail, never grown it before, but it should be perennial in this area, so I'm pretty excited. Witch hazel's come out looking great. Kale's, like I said, in flower, and most of these have been pollinated, so these long tails will create seed pods here shortly. Let's see, spice bush is leafing out where it was just a stick. Ajuga, that's a variegated ajuga with pink flowers. It's beautiful. I'm surprised the hail didn't get this guy. That is that pink Texas Star hibiscus. I've never grown one, so I'm really curious to see. This is the first year that this kale has put up a flower stalk. This is my favorite kale. I've had it for 3 years, and I'm really praying that it continues to stay here after it flowers. So sorry y'all gotta hear my sniffles, but it's just an allergy kind of day. This is that blueberry, the only surviving blueberry from the northern creeping blueberries that I planted. And let's see, right here is the mulberry, dwarf mulberry, coming up really strong. And this is why I cut it down, because I wanted to make just a bush that we can harvest. It's not super tall. I will say the carpet of strawberries and violets seems to do really well at suppressing weeds, much better than over in that bed right there. So I've put strawberries in the other bed. They just haven't taken off like here because this is more shady. So I don't know if y'all can tell the pomegranate's coming into leaves. It's actually Sadie's horse bean, which is really hard to find. I can't get it in the States anymore that I can find. So I soaked, inoculated, and planted 3 beans here so that they will grow up this tree. And my Turk's cap is still here. Everything was kind of rough, but they're here. And there also not kind of that hollow spot right there. So I'm just really hoping it's still getting enough light where it will sprout, because if it will just open up and sprout, then it can climb these trees and get plenty of sun, and then I will have a vine growing up the bush, and it'll be great. So my blueberries look nice. This is one of the first years they look really pretty good. The rabbit got that one, but it's not dead, it's coming back. So I'm really curious to see how big and pretty they get. My aronia berry is leafing out. There you go. So, and my ginger is not up yet, and that's typical. It takes a long time for ginger to come up. I've got some volunteer lemon balms, and also I wanted to show you guys my gooseberries. There's one and there's one. Are coming back. I didn't expect them to, so I'm really excited about that. The different places I put the ramps, they all seem to be, the other ones right there, very successful right now. So I'm pretty excited about the ramps being, established. So that's looking beautiful. I didn't cut it down to the ground like most people do for the hydrangeas, and it's gonna be a nice, pretty big bush this year. These irises are lovely. My mother's peony is here and strong, and I have amaryllis opening. So I don't care for amaryllis. I've kept those for my mother. So we weeded this bed, and as you can see, my daylilies, I've got red, orange, and gold daylilies that grow here. 2 of those were from a very good friend of mine, Christy, and her husband. It's with Sunset Seekers. They're YouTubers on with RV trips and tips. They have great videos. So she's a good friend of mine, and the 2 of those are from her. They were gifts from her when I helped her with her backyard. So we have weeded this to leave basically the violets and the strawberries. And there's a little clover I gotta pull. But my asparagus is coming in. It grows so big and thick. This is year 4, and I've never harvested it because it's so thick. It's like useless. Ooh, it's starting to rain. So there's my fiddlehead fern. There's some of my leeks. My violet patch is going strong. The husband cleared out all of that bramble, which I'm so thankful for, because that bramble was taking over everything. And now there's still a little bit here, see? Ooh. That thing's spiny and thorny and shitty. So anyway, and it was messing up the fence, to be honest. So I need to get that goji berry off. Anyway, so he cleared that up, and then these are my pawpaw trees. There's one leaf down there. There's one leaf here. And there's one leaf here. My ramps are good. My orange mint is looking great. I want that to spread as much as it can. There is also violets back here that I transplanted last year, and a strawberry, and I want them to just spread. So I had to get a replacement pawpaw this spring because this one didn't make it. But here in about 4 years, I should have the pawpaws that grow past the fence line. They want shade their first few years, so this is a north-facing fence, and those should grow up, and by year 4 or 5, they'll pass that fence, get all of the shade sun they need, and then start providing fruit. Hey guys, we had a really bad storm last night. So, there's another one on the way, to be honest. But I just wanted to kind of take a picture, or I made a video of the garden and let you guys see kind of what we did. This is the little mini trellis arbor we were talking about. I'm probably going to put my cucumbers on that. And then like right here in this bed, I planted all of my grandfather's beans. And I'm kind of sad because I put out all of my tomato transplants, and then it hailed really bad, so I don't know, we'll see if they make it. I don't know if you can see from here, but there's little green specks are the corn that I planted that's coming up. So, and I put beans in the bed, so that should be working pretty soon.